CNBC TV 18, celebrating 19 years of business leadership.
Welcome back. This is a special chat with the author of Off Council, the book written by Dr. Arvind Subramanian, the former Chief Economic Advisor of the Indian government. Dr. Subramanian, let me come to the dramatic statement, page 99, where you say, yes, the demonetisation was, let me read your own sentence. Puzzle 2. Okay, why didn't the draconian 96% reduction in the cash supply have bigger effects on the overall economic growth? To put this more provocatively, the question was not whether demonetisation imposed costs. It clearly did, but why did it not impose much greater costs? Really, you say in the introduction chapter, this is a subject for several PhD theses, and I wish I could do one at some point on this. I guess you will be guiding some students
hopefully,
on this.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. No, my point is, did you try to convince the government of this at all? You say that you got to know about it only after it was announced. But was there any...
I say nothing of that sort, by the way, in the book, because I don't...
You said on November 8th, I saw the Prime Minister annouing it.
Yeah,
my assumption is that that's when you got... that's how I...
Yeah. So, as I said, this is not a kiss and tell memoir.
Okay. I won't accuse you of saying what you have not said. Yeah. But were there discussions that, we made a mistake, this is not playing the way we planned?
No, I think this, it unfolded the way it did, and I think we've seen. Latha, coming back to the book, what I think in the survey, as you know, we gave a framework.
Yes.
What are the costs? What are the benefits? Yes. Right? And those costs and benefits. I mean, we said.
Growth down by 1 percentage point.
No. See, let's not. First, I think there were costs on the informal sector, which we say very clearly. Yeah, whatever, right? Potential benefits, and so all this is playing out. In the book, I don't want to go and rehash right, wrong, whatever, who said what. This is not that. I have, now I'm a researcher. I'm entitled. I have two genuinely new questions to ask on this. Right, which I think is very important because it actually says a lot about the Indian economy. And let me, the first one is, which hasn't, gotten enough, is why, if we think it imposed so much costs on the informal sector, why was it so politically successful, right?
In the UP election.
Right? And I have a slightly, provocative hypothesis, but I think that's one. Because I think that this is a worldwide phenomenon. I mean, why do people vote against their self-interest? In the US, this question is asked all the time. So this is along those lines, and I wanted people to think about this. The second puzzle which has created all this, furor is I was asking the question that, look, this absolute 86% reduction, you call it draconian, you call it bold, you call it severe. By the way, we call it a structural shock, whatever. You call it whatever you want, right? Why did that, which is 86%, and by the way, it was meant to be bold and draconian.
Yes,
it was not intended as a kind of, half-hearted measure or whatever, right? So it was whatever, right? And then, but you take away 86%, you ask any economist in the world, what is going to be the GDP impact? And I speak about, by the way, there's a discussion with Paul Krugman I had for breakfast, how would this be modeled? And it was clear that most models would say, huge impact on measured GDP, right? So the question I ask is that why wasn't it the case? Now, I'm asking this not because, whatever, right?
No, I asked this question myself, to myself, yes.
Because I think it says, understanding this would tell us things about the Indian economy which we didn't know. First is the question of whether we're just measuring the wrong thing, right? That's one issue which we need to address. Informal, formal, how do we measure this? The other is, have we, as monetary economists, don't understand, maybe substitutability, cash and other forms of money? That's one. The third is, is the Indian economy so resilient that we have, all these informal arrangements, so on? Or even a fourth possibility is that, did it lead to a lot of debt and it will play out and so on? So I think these are really important questions. That's what I want people to focus on. Draconian, severe, you take your pick of word, whatever, right? But that's not the point of the thing. It's to understand why action and impact were so disconnected.
Something may be answered maybe in January or February, because the final estimates of the FY17 growth number actually comes 2 years later. So Jan 19th, maybe when the new GDP figure of 2 years ago comes, maybe something will be refined.
See, but on the before-after comparison, remember, see, in this survey and also in the book, I say that there was a decoupling of the Indian economy, right? And whatever, we came to 1%, 2%, whatever it is, you take whatever number. But there were 4 factors that contributed to that. Demonetisation, GST, which also we said in the survey, and oil prices and high interest rates. So disentangling that is going to be very difficult, but all 4 of them contributed to the slowdown in the Indian economy, from about 2016 to 17.
Yes, 2017-18,
yeah.
Really, growth wasn't, we didn't take advantage of the global growth, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, from your perch outside, there are a couple of attacks on the Reserve Bank. One, that there's one person who's politically inclined to the ruling party, who has been appointed, educated, qualified, chartered accountant, but still aligned to the political party. And who knows, the next government may want to, because a precedent has been broken. As well, the Section 7 was alluded to. They did not give directions, but they started consultations. And then something like Basel norms, the RBI was asked to tone down the amount of capital required. From the outside, is this seen as, an attack on RBI? Should we now start becoming careful?
See, I think, I'm just transmitting from the outside. It's certainly been a big issue, right? People do worry about, because remember that the RBI is I've been critical, but it's a great institution, one of India's independent institutions. And in the long run, we know that, having solid institutions good for long-run development. I mean, that's one of the things I've worked on a lot. So the perceptions, yes, are getting affected by it. I also worry about, kind of the new vision that's creeping in terms of, how, not just this, but more broadly, how, the financial sector should be run. I think we need to reflect on that. I think absolutely. But also...
What are you referring to? Which new thinking?
No, I think the vision, I kind of see a new vision, we have to lend money to SMEs. We have to open the spigots. We just have to solve corruption, and everything will solve itself. The new vision that, and no question, I don't think we should politicize the RBI board. I think the RBI board is of an advisory nature. I think we should maintain its independence. We should absolutely. I think there's some things that are sacrosanct, which is the, in quote unquote, see, because it's a loaded word. Again, at the risk of being misconstrued, independence. I think yes. I think over politicizing is not good. I think, but I think we should also have a kind of cooperative relationship. I think that's independence is not mutually exclusive with consultation and cooperation on both sides. And I think we need to, regain that kind of, I was able to criticize, the RBI on several instances because that underlying thing of, we respect each other, we know both are doing this in the public good. As long as that is there, I think we can move forward. And I'm kind of pleased that we also have, I think, heading towards that kind of truce. Hopefully.
There is an important meeting next week.
Yeah.
A final question to you. You've really passionately loved your job. It just comes through in every page and every chapter. Why did you leave early then?
I see. As I've always said, there were, we had very strong personal reasons.
Yes, you said, your grandchild has arrived. And that's why you want to go.
I mean, that was
I mean, the grandchild would have waited 1 year, or, your children could have brought the grandchild to you. You could still have completed, the full year in office?
I think that, nobody...
Is there a disappointment you're not telling us?
Nobody is irreplaceable in this government.
But is there a disappointment that you're not revealing to us?
No, I mean, it's all there in the book, whatever it is.
All right. Okay, but I'll still wait for a tell-all book.
Okay.
Dr. Subramanian, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much, and for all the years that you served India.
Thank you so much.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 19 years of business leadership.